Hello everybody, it's me Nosey and I'm back for yet another video. As you can see by the title page, this is part 2 of my discussion and thoughts video on the Transformers cinematic universe and where I think it's going. So, let us rejoin where I left off last. I'd like it if the film started off like it's in the midst of a battle, a massive battle. There is Cybertronian warriors being blown up right and centre. Yeah, you're right in the nitty gritty of a massive battle, and you see Optimus Prime, you see or whatever characters are going to be a part of this film. I've no idea. Whoever's going to be a part of the centre of attention, whoever that focal point is going to be. But anyway, you're going to have. I'd like it if they chuck you right in the deep end straight away, because that will be, holy shit, I wasn't expecting it to open like this, because that will surprise people, and that's what we want in a cinema, surprise. And then maybe whoever it is, somebody has a daydream, or not a daydream, but you are kind of like taken on a journey to before everything seemed calm, before the whole fallout between the Decepticons and the Autobots, before all that came about. I'd have liked to see an undamaged Cybertron in live action format, so you could see what it was like as a very busy civilization. They are Cybertronian people going about their daily life as normal Cybertronian people. And then the whole essential civil war on the Cybertron hit off between the Decepticon side and the Autobots. Well, what would become the Autobots, because to begin with, they're not actually a faction back then. But yeah, I'd like if you just see maybe a couple of scenes, even if it's about 20 minutes of the film. I would like to see what it would look like before, and then you're right back into the action again, and then up to the point where they are manning whatever they're having to do in order to arrive on Earth. You could kind of say I'm actually kind of using the option of, because obviously in Dark of the Moon they do get take off from Cybertron in an aircraft, in a spacecraft. And they were supposed to have obviously gone on the moon, but that was Dark of the Moon thing. But I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'd like it to go up to the point as they're prepping to leave Earth, and then obviously you see them all on Earth. So Optimus Prime, Jazz, Ironhide, Ratchet. I'd like it to be those characters back. I want Jazz back. I want Ironhide back. I want Optimus as 07 Optimus. I want Bumblebee back as the 07 Bumblebee, not as I actually want Bumblebee to actually have a voice box, because if it's a prequel, he essentially should be able to speak, because this is before he had the damage to his throat. So yeah, I'd like to see something like that. I mean, that's my thought in my head that I'd maybe like to see happen, but we don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, there's also speculation that there could be a Beast Wars film as a spin-off. I love Beast Wars. Beast Wars, like I said, I love Transformers, or the Transformers thing as a whole, but Beast Wars was the first series that I ever watched as a child. So that is essentially my G1. Beast Wars is my first generation Transformers series that I actually saw for the first time as a kid. I watched G1, actually I watched a bit of G2 first, because obviously when G2 actually, it was G1 but re-airing as G2. And then obviously I watched all the other stuff during the late 90s, early 2000s, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm really interested I'm interested about all these different ideas of more spin-off films, possible Beast Wars movie. I'm all for that. I've been speaking about that for a long time as well, since they've been making these films of a Beast Wars one, because I think with the technology we've got today, I think if we did a mixture of animatronic, puppet, and CG, I think we could make a very convincing movie between those three methods. I really do, with a Beast Wars film. And like Cybertron as well, like a film all on Cybertron, that'd be bloody brilliant. And I think James Cameron should direct that one. Doubt it, because James Cameron is currently a part of the Avatar thing at the moment. He's still doing Avatar 2, which is apparently out, I think, 2017. So that isn't going to happen. And apparently, obviously, there's going to be another. I think there's going to be 3 or 4. I think there's going to be quite a few Avatar films, to be honest. But you never know. If he has a gap in between somehow, I really would like, because James Cameron is very good at space stuff. You know, obviously Aliens. You know, he directed the second Aliens movie, so he is good with science fiction, space stuff. And I think Cybertron would be interesting with James Cameron involved, because he'd have the uber creativeness, or Steven Spielberg to take over that, because Steven Spielberg's great at space stuff as well. But we don't know, do we? We don't know what's happening. But I'm interested. I'm very interested and intrigued to see where this is going down. I'm interested to see a completely new storyline, new structure, new writers. I'm interested to see what characters they'll bring into it. And obviously the fifth film, if Michael Bay does come back, I won't be surprised if he does. Plus, I think he should come back for the fifth one, because really, I think I've spoken about this before, but I kind of think if Michael Bay didn't come back for the fifth film, I don't think structurally and plotly would actually make any sense with under a different director, because Michael Bay has done them all up to 4. He left questions that those questions that hadn't yet been answered, and apparently they were supposed to be answered in the next film. So if somebody else took over the director's seat from Michael Bay, that's going to be somebody else's. That director will not want to do the same feel and everything as Michael Bay. Every director has their own unique perspective of film. Okay, they have their own personality, they have their own creativeness. No director likes to make something the same as somebody past. That is the truth, right? So I think if somebody else took over the mantle of Michael Bay and it's a completely different director, that guy is going to want to do it in his image. And in doing that, is going to completely go away from the answers that have yet to be, the questions that have yet to be answered from Age of Extinction. Like some of the artifacts that you saw on the big ass ship, lockdown ship. They were some actual like Easter eggs to maybe the fifth film, and also different planets that Lockdown had visited, because they were his trophies. So there was interesting stuff within Lockdown's ship that gave you ideas of what you may see in the fifth film. And also there was like the Guard, where Optimus Prime, obviously, Optimus Prime gets that sword from the wall, and you see those statues. They look like knights. They all look like knights at the round table kind of thing. That is something that was never actually really mentioned about at all in Age of Extinction, and apparently that's going to be something that's going to be mentioned in the fifth film. I'm hoping so, but I don't know what to think. It's just interesting to me of what's going to happen. Is Michael Bay going to come back for the fifth one and then say, right, okay, I've continued past 4, I've answered all the questions that the fourth one that had apparently still had yet to be answered, questions that had apparently to be answered. I've done my part, now the mantle is almost certainly this is gonna be my last one, for certain, because he said that multiple times throughout making the films. But I think he should come back, direct 5, then that's it, because his contract would end by then, because he's supposed to be directing a film that's due for release next year that has nothing to do with Transformers. It's something more dear to his heart. It's a completely different film. And then apparently he has a major blockbuster still under contract to Paramount. So is Transformers 5 going to be that blockbuster, which is supposed to be maybe 2017, and I believe it's 2017 Transformers 5 is believed to be released on. So maybe it is suggesting Bay will come back for the 5th film, because that would make, even though it's going to annoy a lot of people because we're just going to get the same feel again, like we have from 07 to now, but we've got different writers, so the film storyline might actually make more sense, and Michael Bay's action might actually work and counter it better. You never know. You never know. It might actually be quite good. And plus, Transformers 5 is supposed to be based more in space as well, so I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about that one. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. This one's been a long one. I do apologise. Again, I've apologised. I've apologised again! Yes. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It has been a long one, but it's something that I've been wanting to talk about in quite a good video, talking about what I think about it, about the cinematic universe, whether it's a good idea and everything. And I'm intrigued. I'm certainly intrigued, but 10 films, that's a long time. And by the time that 10th and final films come out, we are going to be old people, well, especially me. It's going to be mad. When that 10th film ever comes out, I could be well in my 30s by that film. Because I've only got, I'm 26 this year. So by the time my birthday's come for this year, I've got 4 years left, and then I'm 30. So I could be well in my 30s by the time the last of the 10 films come out, and that's quite depressing for me. Very depressing. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. So this is me just talking about the live action films and what I think, what I think about them becoming a cinematic universe. Because really, if you think about it, they're just jumping on everybody else. Because obviously Disney are now doing a cinematic universe with the Star Wars franchise, and then obviously Marvel are more or less the kings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is the best one that has yet been released. We've yet to see anything of the new Star Wars stuff, because obviously that's not out yet, and I'm looking forward to the new Star Wars film and the ones afterwards. But I don't know. But Transformers is going to be interesting. A whole cinematic universe completely planned out for about 10 films. And it's going to be interesting to see where it's going to go down. I am intrigued. I am intrigued. I'm interested. And I think it might be interesting. It might be a good thing as well, because they have been talking about, once they get Michael Bay out the way, Paramount want to reboot the Transformers franchise. So if you think about it, the cinematic universe is most likely the reboot that they've been speculating for a while. Because they need to make the 5th one, because that is a direct sequel to the 4th one, and they need to kind of make that film. And then from the 5th film onwards is when you're going to start getting your spin-offs, your sequels, your prequels, and all that, all the different things that they're planning. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm hoping that they do make something different and new and interesting, because otherwise people are just going to get bored very quickly. I can see that happening. But thank you very much for watching again. I'll be back very soon with more videos. And peace. Bye bye.